Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Renee at Home. I hope you are enjoying this Vlogmas edition of my channel. Today I am going to teach you how to make the easiest chicken pot pie you have ever made, if you've ever made one, and if not and you haven't because you thought that it was too hard or too much of a process and you could never do that. Oh yes, you can. So you can enjoy good old-fashioned comfort food this winter to warm you up on the inside, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get started. Alright, I'm trying a different angle here with my tripod, and I hope you can see everything okay and this is going to work okay, because once I make this, I won't make it again for a really long time because I'll be honest, Adam sometimes wants it and sometimes he doesn't. So here we go. Good old-fashioned comfort food chicken pot pie. This is what you're going to need. The first ingredient you're going to need is chicken. I am doubling this recipe. Each pie takes 1 cup of chicken. I have 2 cups here. This is chicken that I have canned. I had all that chicken left over from the chicken and dumplings that I made, and I put it in the freezer because I knew I wasn't going to get to it right away. Well, guess what? I forgot to take it out of the freezer. Yep. All right. That may have been an easy ingredient to guess, but the next ingredients may surprise you, and that is what makes this so easy. Now, if you don't want to cook your own chicken, you can buy it in a can. I do know that. All right. The next ingredients are, per pie, 1 can of mixed vegetables. You can buy these smaller ones. You can also get the home style, which is a little bit bigger chunks. And since I'm doubling the recipe, I'm going to use 2. When I use 2, when I double the recipe, this one I drained. This one I did not. And you don't have to drain either one of them. And this is a little bit bigger, feels like. You don't have to drain them at all. You can pour the juice and everything in there. I just keep making a mess. I tell you what, can't take me anywhere. All right, the next thing you're going to need is either cream of celery soup or cream of chicken. I like cream of celery because I've already got chicken in there, and this is just added flavor. So you just open this up and you dump it in. And doubling, so I'm using 2 cans. And like I said, cream of chicken or cream of celery, either one is fine. The next ingredient and the last ingredient is, per pie, 1 can of chicken noodle soup. Undrained. That's just going to go in here. And because I'm doubling the recipe, I've got another can sitting here. Whoops. That I am just going to dump in as well. And I maybe might have should have got a bigger bowl. But, you know, maybe mighta shoulda. Doesn't get you very far. Okay. And the last thing that we're going to add is just some salt and pepper. And this is to taste. I'm not going to put much salt Because that's one thing Adam says he doesn't care about it, is that he sometimes thinks I get it too salty or it's too salty from the cream soups and the chicken noodle. So I probably put more pepper than I did salt. Now I have to stir this carefully because it is literally up to the rim of my bowl. I first learned about this recipe when my husband's grandma passed away. And of course, I started to say friends from church, but it wasn't friends from my church. It was friends from my women's Bible study. Brought in meals for us. I had no idea they were even doing it. And one of them brought this, and we loved it. And that was, I think, I don't remember the date. It's not important. We have been eating this ever since that friend brought it to us. All right. That's pretty good. Now, the next thing that makes this so easy, frozen pie crust. These are frozen. Be sure you get the deep dish pie crust. And then you're just going to pour this out into your pie crust. And then the next thing you're going to do is, well, some of you very observant folks might notice that in the next part of this clip and from here on out, I have on an apron that I didn't have on before. And that's because a little something happened while I was recording. And I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video. If you want to know what it was, you have to go watch the candied pecans video, and I'll link it here somewhere, probably up here. Anyway, you have to go watch that video to find out what happened. But for now, let's get on with it. You need 2 ready-made pie crusts. These are the roll kind. Should have opened these first. It's these in the package. And you are going to just, whoops, not tear it up, hopefully. I should have let these set out a little bit longer. Well, there's one vent hole. Oh my gosh. Let's back the camera up so you can see that better. Look at this. You're supposed to leave these set out on the counter. Look what it started doing. We are going to salvage this. I refuse. This will be today's dinner. I tell you what, everything is trying to keep me from recording this video. Had to go take care of some animals. Anyway. We have a vent hole. It's like the flap on Long John's. Okay. It's supposed to have vent holes in it anyway. It's not exactly what I meant. Okay. Unroll the other one. Maybe a little more gently. Or maybe it's not going to matter because it's going to tear up anyway. I've never used Great Value before that I remember. Okay, that one's fine. I'm not going to say it was the Great Value. You're supposed to leave them sitting out for a while, and I didn't. I'm just going to take my thumb and my index finger and pinch around the edge. You could take a fork and seal it if you wanted to, and that's what I'm doing, is sealing these two doughs together. You can see my thumbnail imprint. I usually use a whole chicken when I make this because it makes 4 pies. And I cook one and I put the other one in the others in the freezer. Take a knife and just cut off this excess dough around the edge. If this were an actual sweet pie, I wouldn't throw this dough away. I put some melted butter and cinnamon and sugar on it and bake it, but because this is off of a pot pie, I don't want to do anything like that. Okay, now I'll do this one in a second. I want to show you the next step. You want to take just some softened butter and you are going to brush the top. Normally I would do this before there were any holes in it so I didn't get my brush in the filling, but this pie crust had other ideas for me. So I will try to miss those holes as much as possible. My oven is heating to 375. And that's good. And then normally I would just take a knife and cut some vent holes in a nicer style than that, and it would go in the oven. Now if you want to freeze these, don't do the butter and don't do the vent holes. Just put the crust on put the top crust on and seal it. Cut your excess off. You can use this to pick up all the extra stuff. Alright, and then this is going in the freezer. So I am just going to put it on this small sheet. After it's frozen, they fit beautifully in a Ziploc freezer bag. And I just write on it the date and what it is and the instructions. Do not thaw. And then you're going to bake. You're going to put the butter on the top. You're going to poke holes in the top of it as well as you can because it's still frozen. And you're going to bake in the 375-degree oven for an hour and a half because it's frozen. This one is going to go on this pan that I have a piece of foil in, just in case that filling comes out of my beautiful vent holes. And this one is going to bake for about 45 minutes. So when it's frozen, you're going to need to bake it probably about twice as long. I do check it, and because everything is cooked, you're not having to cook anything. So when your crust is nice and brown, this is done because everything is cooked and you're really just heating it through. This one is frozen. It's going to take about an hour and a half, but keep an eye on it because every oven is different. And if your edges start getting too brown, then just put some pieces of foil around the edges to keep that from happening. But again, when you take this one out of the freezer, be sure and brush it with butter and then put some vent holes in it. Doesn't take a whole lot. I usually only do 4. And I will have the recipe in the description box below. But as you heard, my oven's ready, so this one's going in. And this one's going in the freezer. I'll see you in 45 minutes. Okay, it's done. It did take about 55 minutes because this had to come out of the refrigerator. So it took a little longer to heat through. I'm glad I had that piece of foil on the bottom because as you can tell, it did spill over. But this is done. I'm just going to serve it with the salad and dinner's ready. I'll show you what it looks like on the plate. Well, that's it for this video. That pot pie was so good. It was truly delicious, and the salad just sent it over the top. I would like to take a moment to say a very, very heartfelt thank you to my new subscribers. My goal was to have 100 subscribers when I woke up Christmas Day. I wanted that to be my Christmas gift. So you have delivered my Christmas gift to me early, and I thank you so much. I'm working on pantry videos now, and those will be coming out in the next few days. You've got me so excited I can't even talk. Those will be coming out in the next few days, so I hope you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll know when those come out. And I will see you in the next video. God bless.